What is up, my dogs? It's your boy, Mike Mason, coming at you again from colorful Colorado. Yo, check out the new steez. Got the freshest fucking OG shit from the Grove, the fucking homie Dustin Amato. And yo, what is going on here? Sorry, my dogs. What is this fucking noise?
I got it on mute.
All right, hold on one second, my dogs. What the fuck? Oh, I see what's happening here. Sorry, dogs. YouTube started playing an ad in the background tab. Man, every show has always got to start with some kind of weird audio issue. Anyways, yo, check out the freshest fucking mask that the homie sent along, man. This is the salt mask. So fucking, until the world gets back to reality, man, I'll be out here repping my boy. Yo, pop this shit out. Yeah, salt's got everything, dude. And yo, one of the reasons I was repping that shit is because the homie sent some extras, man. We're gonna give this away at the end of the show. We got the Slugworth mask. Slug diddly umptious, yo. And then he sent one more. I'm gonna give that away too, man. Cause man, I've already got the dopest shaggy hat that they hooked me up with. So I've got the fucking. This has got some kind of like valve hole or something for like fucking blowing glass, I think. I don't really know exactly how it works, but it's got all the features. Whatever. Anyways, man, we're gonna give that away later. After an incredible demo from Steve H. And if you guys aren't familiar, the dot work that this cat does is absolutely incredible. These circular rainbow patterns, that's kind of like his trademark thing or whatever. But the homie is also super versatile. We're going to get to watch some footage of him making an incredible Encalmo vase rig. It's a lot of fun. It's from the Champs Glass games. Man, let me introduce you guys to my amazing co-host before we pop this off. The one and only Kai Dies. Kai Jewel. Fuck yeah, repping the course. Is that the banquet? That's what it made me think of, dude. Very good, man. Hell yeah. How have you been, brother? Okay. It looks that way. Is that like your store of tie-dyes back there? Okay, I got you. Got you. Aren't we all? A little, at least for a while. Um, Dude, that's such a coincidence that you were repping that hat tonight, because oh, you grabbed it at that point. Okay, got you. Very cool. Yeah, that's the exact hat that I was talking about. So one of you guys is gonna get the matching mask. Fucking very cool. Yeah, like I said, man, the homie was really nice and just sent these extra masks over when I ordered a new hat, and y'all know I like the OG joints. And just speaking of, I want to give the homie a shout out because like the hats that he makes for a bunch of these glass artists, he'll do that for you too for a totally reasonable price. I don't know what it is. That's y'all's business. I just know that he's not like fucking gouging anybody, and his hats are like easily, in my opinion, the most comfortable. Like I really don't care for the ones made by I'm not even gonna name companies. I don't care for most of the other companies that make hats, and just don't feel right to me. Like if you don't get them in a fitted, that shit is not feeling right. Like maybe it's just the size of my head, whatever it'll be. Um, Anyways, I just wanted to give Dustin a shout out. He does pins. If you want custom pins, like he does all that type of stuff. So if you need branding, somebody who's a friend of the show and friend of our community, he does the stuff for like Glass Vegas and other events. It's just a really good cat who's part of our game. So I wanted to give him a shout out as part of the show and give away these masks and shit. So yeah. Anyways, what's that, man? Dustin Amato, and it just look him up. Official Genius is the company. If you type in Dustin Official Genius, you'll get his thing. Amato. I should put it in the thing or whatever, but I don't want to get carried away. I just wanted to do something nice because the homie showed over these masks and stuff. It was a really nice extra thing for me. Yo, in the Colorado beer report, we're gonna fuck with this tonight. PB&J and Fluff. It's a sour wheat ale brewed with peanut flour, marshmallow, milk sugar, and nearly 1,000 pounds of raspberry and strawberry puree. So let's crack this together real quick before we do this demo. Woo. That's pretty. I really like this brewery. It's like I said, Weld Works. And they're one of these ones that they're hard to get outside of Colorado. They're just not a big brewery. And then they've got even headier ones that you have to go to the brewery to get. But whatever. All right, enough about what's up? Mute you? Oh, you're muted. I'm not. Sorry. I did catch that. Yeah, that was when that YouTube thing happened.
All right,
Shoot.
we're
Sorry
good.
about that.
Sorry.
Kai's back in the game now.
We're good. We're
Yeah.
clear, right? No more technical difficulties.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna restart the whole intro. 3, 2, 1.
No.
Go. No, just playing. All right.
No.
All right. All right. Yeah. Fuck the bullshit. Let's get this show started. Issues aside, I'm still getting settled in here, so it's like everything's still a little weird. But yeah. Let's go ahead and pop this off. Glass Central Station, that's me. That's all the homies helping, jumping on a camera. That's Kai, and that's all of you guys out there making, what we do possible. But very specifically, the financial end of what we do is made possible by these companies that we're going to take just a minute to acknowledge. These events as well, man. Freaking Tito over there at the Burn Gallery, huge shout out. I can't wait. I hope for Pipe Classic 21 to happen. It's still too early to start getting hopeful about anything, but I think this champ show is going to go off here shortly. Glass Vegas is scheduled for May. Currently, Las Vegas, 50 people max allowed, but hopefully that will change here by then, and we can kind of get back to anything close to a normal life. But again, these companies, you guys, they all pitch in a little every month and make it possible to give our industry this type of high quality coverage. That's my mission from Glass God, and there's all these pieces that have to come together. So, like I said, these cats are kind of the financial piece of the puzzle, and it makes it all possible. Now, who makes it all possible are these amazing artists who give me the opportunity to put a camera in their face, especially during a competition. We're here with Steve H. at the Champs Glass Games. This was the Summer Glass Games in 2018. And I caught him kind of setting up here. He's got like a thin bubble. I know a lot of these guys like to take like a 32 or a 38 and blow it out pretty thin for this type of thing. And here he's just laying all these initial dots to kind of set like the hemispheres or whatever, the equator, I guess might be the word. But yeah, I really there's so many thanks to give in terms of what I get to do, and it means the world that an artist like this gives me the chance to watch this. If you guys notice, when he's laying these dots on, if he's not happy, he just knocks them off. They're very loosely adhered at this point. This is kind of one of those magical Boro moments. It's just one of those things that you're like, wait a minute, how does the glass just keep taking this? And pay attention to the reheats and such. But it's one of these things where, as long as you're not flashing it at the wrong times and such, it doesn't seem to pop. And there he is. Not just really, I think, especially as he gets started, this line is kind of a guideline, and he clearly wanted that to be really proper, evenly spaced. It reminds me of something like Yushin talks about when he does filicellos and stuff, and he sets these dots around the initial borders or whatever.
Yeah, you got to frame it.
What's that?
He's framing it, man. He's putting it so he can scale it in.
Yeah, exactly. And once he does that, he lays dots to kind of set his orientation, and they don't really so much become part of the final product or whatever, but they help him kind of draw one line from the top to the bottom. And I think there's like a similarity here. Not to spend too long talking about a totally different process, but getting those dots properly spaced, and then I think he's starting from the center here as well, knocking one off, really taking the time to find that center. All of these dots kind of frame where all the rest go. So I think he wants to take his time to really get that proper.
Go read.
I thought it was pretty slick how he put that Kevlar sleeve over the Marver. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, if you don't do that, man, you're just gonna be looking like you worked in a coal mine or something.
or burn, man. My marble gets hot.
Sure. Yeah, that's a possibility as well.
Plus, it just
But
looks comfortable too, man. He's nice and cozy, getting in there for these little micro dots.
right, and I think that there's really something to be said for comfort here. I noticed like gosh, I'm spacing on the name. I think it might be Kondo. Like the one of the Japanese guys who does this similar type of intricate dot work and such. He has like bricks that he puts next to it, and those bricks also have like a Kevlar kind of thing over them, whatever. But it's so much about finding a position that you feel comfortable in. And Steve here, he's crouched over it, and he's really got his hand rested in the crux of the L Marver, and that's obviously like where he finds his zen.
Nice,
And
nice and stable, good stability.
exactly, and like I think everybody needs to kind of experiment and find that space for them. Everybody has a different everybody's body is different or whatever, but like I think some of us want to have that elbow supported. You just kind of got to figure out a positioning to be in if you want to do this type of intricate work where you really almost need to like be the robot. Now obviously we skipped ahead here a bit, and he's filled in a lot of this pattern. Now, this was filmed during the Champs Glass Games, which let me give you guys some premise if you guys aren't familiar. It's like a 40-person glass competition. Some of them are done where people will send pieces in, but the big events, Atlantic City, the Summer Vegas, and then the Masters, which is the Winter Vegas show, they have live flame working. And man, had COVID not happened, I think Chicago might have become the next like live flame working event. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't
Oh,
be talking about
rad!
that shit. Yeah, I think
Shot down.
I could be. I mean, yeah, they were good. They were doing shows there, but I heard rumors I forget the details. Everybody forget I said that part. But
I was like, man, do they even have glass blowers in Chicago?
oh man, dude, there's
But they
glass
got
blowers
they got
everywhere,
glass
but
blowers in like Peoria, Kansas, and shit.
yeah,
So like
we have a community map that proves they're everywhere. So, in any event, there's all these events. The Champs Trade Show is huge. You walk in and it's like walking into like multiple sports authorities or something. There's a billion booths, every product you've ever seen in a head shop. But in the middle of the event, like directly in the middle, everybody kind of has to pass it, is the glass competition. And it's like two giant areas with 20 stations on each side. So that's what you're seeing in the background here when we have wider shots, and they're all surrounded by booths. The smaller events, and they're still huge, but they're the winter show in Vegas is fucking crazy. The smaller events are like the qualifiers, and then they get to compete in the Masters. So this was like the summer Vegas 2018 qualifier, and this was actually part of a team competition. There's this the Masters is like 40 dudes, 40 men enter, one man leaves or whatever. Now there's like 10 winners that get paid a lot of money, and it's a
oof,
really cool thing. But that's like 40 people all going head to head with one consistent theme across two, and then the 2020 was even 3 days of flame working. So we have
wow.
like
So Steve definitely got this guy down at an angle a little bit as he's looks like he's melting it all in to implode it.
right, yeah, we're talking over some important stuff here.
Yeah,
I'm not the implosion master, but it is really important to note this angle.
yeah,
An implosion like this, I find it easier to think of it as more like condensing.
yeah. He's
Because
just
he's
skinning the glass. He's just really just kind of like blowing it around the top of that, so it just all kind of comes down into the middle.
sure, and it's not too steep an angle, but it's somewhat downward as he starts, and then he's going to even out as it really kind of just
Flatten
comes
out.
together and thickens up and forms this. It all kind of shrinks together. And like I said, I'm not the master at it, but if you guys watch this, just really pay attention to the angles that he's using, and at
Nice.
exactly where the flame is riding this thing. For me, they happen much easier when I forget about all that implosion talk, which is nebulous, and think of it
Yeah.
as condensing. Now here he's letting it actually sink in a bit. It's really thickening up now on that edge or whatever. And that's a really, and at this point, see that angle is all gone. Now if he were keeping it down, it wouldn't sink in this way and form
Yeah,
this like
no.
disc.
Now he's like leveling it out, kind of cocking it
Exactly.
down a little bit, so it kind of comes down a little bit. He's collecting that clear glass around the inside, around the
Sure.
outside. There.
And look at
Golly.
that. Now that whole thing is just kind of like bam. And
Okay,
now he's gonna,
Steve.
yeah, and he's setting up for what's called a disc flip. And some of you guys are probably familiar. And if you're not, it's basically he's condensed this down to a disc, and now he needs to remove that clear from around the face of it or whatever, so that he's just left with the disc. So that this image that he has created with this dot pattern, the resolution of it and everything on the other side just has a this is the look he's trying to achieve. So same thing with filicellos and stuff like that. Like it's designed to be seen from the other side. So at some point it has to be flipped around in orientation.
Yeah. Show me the dots.
Yeah, now here he's going to heat all this glass up on the face as best as he can without distorting that pattern. Yeah, here blowing it out. Classic, yo.
Jesus. Makes it look easy.
And there you go. Flame cut that shit off. Not too close though.
Little
Now he
hole.
can remove that shit with control as he approaches the disc or whatever. But yeah, that was it. I mean that was 10 out of 10, man. That take notes on that shit.
Write that down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that was really well done though. That was he obviously had a really even heat in there. I mean, when you blow a bubble that thin, it kind of really starts to show you exactly where the heat was, you know? He blew that thing out like it was a fucking tumbler. The man obviously has like a really high control level. Here's we're cutting with glass. Those are cup shears. Trim shears are more bigger general size. That's a cup shear. I feel like we were just talking about this on the show recently, but it's like Robert Mickelson is kind of who taught me how to really cut glass, and he's like he mentioned how like the flame is what does the cutting, you know, because you really need to heat ahead of it, and there shouldn't be too much resistance. So you see, he's heating just small segments. Don't get
Jesus.
too crazy.
He's cutting for so long though.
Well,
Like, whoa.
but you can see it's retaining the heat. You know, look
Yeah.
at that. It's still orange where he's cutting, and it's not getting too harsh.
That's some of the deepest cuts I've seen. The deep cuts with Steve
the
A.
deep cuts. There's no B sides here, just deep cuts. Look at that. And that thing is sweet as shit. Whoa, what was that?
Oh, me just admiring this fucking badass shit.
I don't know, it sounded like
Okay,
a CB radio
Steve.
or something.
Damn, dude.
Expecting somebody to pop in, like breaker, breaker.
Nah, I was a fucking bird, man. They just live around in the roof.
Okay. All right, that was a handle switch right there. That's one of those moments where if I were doing the demo, the piece would crack in half, and I'd be like, whatever. But Steve H.
Man, that's risky, man. Two cold seals like that, like it was like that was like a mid seal.
Right, yeah. Now if you noticed, okay, that was HicDogg popping over and checking the size of this mouthpiece, because the disc is going to become the mouthpiece of this crazy telescope rig.
Oh.
And that won them some money and got them into the Masters, which is what sets up the next segment of the filming.
That's where they should be.
Harry's letting that rim just kind of cook back and letting this thing even maybe condense just a bit.
Giving it some shape, a little bit of depth there, a little bit of concave down in. Like it's gonna like pop out those dot hatches, giving a little more density to it too.
Yeah, you can actually see those dots on the edge starting to like stand up and shit. I love what I get to do, yo. Getting to film something like this is just fucking beautiful. Look at that.
Man, just wait till you're hanging out with these guys in the hot tub and giving them interviews, man.
Yeah, that's the new thing, y'all. Hot glass hot tub coming at
Look
you spring
out,
of
it's coming.
2022. Yeah, it's like I'll blame it on the Rona. Like, well, we decided a show in a hot tub wasn't the best idea right now. But
This doesn't fester bacteria, just
yeah,
fire.
right.
Yo,
I've pretty much been. That's the only time I hurt myself these days is in hot tubs, yo, because be like chemical burns and shit. I'm telling you, like,
sure, Mike.
yeah,
Sure. Chemical burns. Look at that. Nice.
right.
God damn.
I mean, dude, what goes on in a Vegas hot tub? It's probably for the best, but I'm not even joking, yo. I've had all the leg hair like removed from my fucking body and shit, like,
Deep
my
cuts with Mike Mason.
right. Should have hit that fucking. They got billboards on the way to the airport. They're like injured in a hotel. Oh, I should have. Could have used that money.
Did you lose a lot of money in the casino? Want to fuck them over back?
Yeah, the law offices of my new sponsor, whatever.
SkeezyLawyer.com.
Right.
Yeah, just popping out the hole in the middle of that is going to be awesome. Usually, what he drops like an opal right there in the center a lot of times when he's doing those for pendants and whatnot.
Right. Here it's going to be the mouthpiece, so it's just going to open up in the planet or whatever, which is cool. Yeah, and that method that he just
That was a good connection right there, just from one side to the other. I know a
exactly
lot of people just do like a straight up flush connection, but that was really clean. That was another way to skin the cat.
yeah, totally. That's exactly where I was going, man. I wanted to comment on that. It's something I feel like we've also talked about recently when we've seen cats doing these seals. Excuse me. Yeah,
It
you
just
don't have
the surface area.
right. I like to do that solid and hollow because with the solid, it'll push out any deviation instead of just trapping it. Like if you're encasing a millie or something like that, and if it's not a perfect nip, if there's
Man,
any like
yeah,
crevices,
he's gonna pull that out with some tweezers, isn't he? He's not even gonna blow that shit out.
I don't know. That's a good question, man. I
I'm
didn't.
calling it. I'm calling it. He's gonna pull that out like
You think so?
yeah. He's gonna open it with glass. He's not gonna pop it.
Okay. Well, he's got a spot there, so he's got a pretty, he's got like a predefined area to grab from.
Yeah,
So we'll have to watch together.
a lot quicker than the spots with the dots on it. But yeah,
We might not get to see that, but yo, he just drilled a lot of heat in there. He wants this. This is a big seal, so that really needs to be happy. So
yeah.
I think he's
But
really
clear on that blue.
yeah. I'm not certain we'll actually get to see him open it, man, because it gets handed off to HicDogg, who needs to like maybe he probably needs to put a blow tube on there at some point or something. I'm not really certain. I'd have to review the footage. But the summer type games are a little different. We usually try and stick with artists more, so it's not like I have a bunch of random footage where I could potentially find it. We usually stick with an artist for their 2 or 3 hour competition segment. And yeah, guys, you can even just see the scale of this room that this is in. If you've never been to one of these trade shows, I remember the first time I went in, um, just as like a spectator or whatever, and it was just like, good lord, Champs is crazy. It's not to say that other trade shows aren't big, but others are just maybe more focused. Champs is like the big show for like everything in the counterculture industry, even cannabis stuff now. It's the big show. And yeah, they've got one coming up in Florida. It's all in like at a self-contained resort. I understand they're doing everything they can to make it a safe thing for everyone. And there's HicDogg setting up, and they're discussing this piece and the logistics. And yeah, here it gets handed off. There's 2 drains in the back, the homie Max. So many cool cats around. That was Byron that just walked by. Now here's HicDogg. I threw in some random footage of him working on the piece. There's another one of Steve's implosions there that's been worked into a hollow disc. and that's a
Robert's
little more in his.
He's blowing the hole out. Now I didn't.
That's a different piece though, man. So I don't know.
Yeah, no. He's over here messing with another piece, but yeah, he's calling the mouthpiece, blowing it out. Robert, if you're right, dude, contact me and we'll hook you up with a mask or something, dude. So we got a little bet for a mask. If I win, send me a pendant. All right. We may never know.
Yeah. I thought you guys might like to see this. Obviously, he's like connecting pieces of this hollow disc to an attachment that's also hollow, and he's just working his way around this seal. You can see he's kind of giving a little puff here and there. I just thought this was cool footage, and you know, because they collaborated on this piece together. You'll get to see the finished piece here in just a second. We had some of this footage on the Glass Central channel, so some of you guys are like, "What? I may have seen this before." But somebody commented like, "Yo, I want to see the finished piece," so I found a picture of it and included it. I'm a man of the people.
Give them what they want, Mike. Just give them what they want. This looks cool. This looks like what's this going to be? Some kind of like part of like a reservoir for water. Yeah, like a central piece on this, I'm assuming.
It's like a telescope rig. It's pretty crazy. Okay. You'll see it in a second. So I think this is like part of the structure of it.
Cool. Weird silence.
Does that make you uncomfortable, Kai?
I just want to hear my own voice so I can come back and watch this later.
All right, I got you. I'll be sure to prepare more questions.
I'm famous. 100 people heard me say that just now.
Kai, where did you grow up?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even remember, man.
This interview is horrible.
No, actually, I'm just joking. I came up in Kansas City. Like, I was born there and just kind of grew up there and moved down to Houston in high school and was there.
Okay.
Until now I'm here.
All right.
A lot of spaces in between, but yeah.
Nice.
Mike, how you digging Colorado, man? How do you like Pueblo, man?
It's all right. It's
could be better.
It's not the fanciest town. Cops sometimes come to your door at like 2 a.m.
We're looking for this.
What it was for, but I saw it on the ring cam. Like I wasn't waking up for that shit. Well, that's my roommate or whatever.
Story for another day.
Yeah. No. I mean, Colorado is dope. Suits my lifestyle much better. But I'm still in this place where I'm trying to get caught up. Like I just did an icane pull, so that's kind of a big deal to be properly getting back to work. And when it warms up, I'm kind of a warm weather dude. I'm from Florida, so I'm gonna really start to enjoy Colorado when it warms up a bit.
Right, Colorado's awesome in the summer.
But it's lovely, incredible beer. It's great.
That's your favorite part of Colorado so far, as I can gather, is that fucking beer.
Right.
It's as fruity as Mike is, man.
Yeah.
Yo, that piece is fucking wicked, though. Okay, right, so the end of the telescope is the mouthpiece.
Okay, all-day team comp is a fun event, unless your team partner got wasted the night before. Or your team player made stuff didn't show up. So, all-day team comp can be fun, can be confusing, but when it's all said and done, on all-day team comp, in third place goes to HicDogg and Steve H.
Yeah, and so I had to leave the audio in there, man, just so we could hear Maddie White's sweet voice. Um, but yo, that's the piece, and there's the implosion that he did, and the mouthpiece or whatever there. Okay, so check it out.
He did Saturn. Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, I was like, what were those wavy lines and the dots? So he did a planet. That is nuts.
yeah, it's pretty. It was hard to see it until like the finished product. Okay, so we just fast forwarded like 9 months or whatever to the Masters. Because he and HicDogg won in that competition. He was at him. They were both entered into the Masters competition. Now here, this is part of this really cool decorative technique that the homie was using, and you'll get to see in a minute what this ends up looking like. But this is like a caramel type color, maybe a silver strike. I didn't ask him. The man's in the middle of a competition.
Of course.
But it's one of those types of, caramel striking colors, and he's just laying clear over it in these patterns. And when they cook in, it all comes in and has this depth that looks like it has been carved. So this is a really cool technique. I call it like unique. It's still pretty fucking unique. But the homie actually demonstrated something similar at the Beat Expo, where he made the like the honey jar or whatever. Let me look this up real quick.
Oh, was that one of those demos you did when you pulled up the honey jar and it was like that lake green?
Exactly. Yes, exactly, dude.
Yeah, dude, him putting that fucking lid on there was magic.
Right? There we go. It's Philip Vogelpol was his name. I was like, I didn't want to mess that name up. And then, so here, like I said, we're filming 40 dudes at the Masters, so we can't get everything. But here he is. He put a punny, like a solid punny on one side, and started cooking in all of those lines. And here he's like worked one side in, and now he's working his way to the other side, keeping it nice and round, or somewhat, in that shape that'll cook back to round.
Keeping that blow tube there without it going all fucking fritzed.
Yeah, until he needed it off.
Yeah, right? God,
now he's going to open it up and set it up for an Encalmo.
Ooh.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, the one that Philip did was on this lake green. It's a different effect. This looks much deeper. It looks like it's actually been carved when it all cooks in. Really fucking cool. And
it's gonna just pop open whenever he gets enough glass off of it.
He pulled enough glass away for it to open up. Yeah, now he's gonna roll that open until it's the right size. Yeah.
You're so smooth.
Hell yeah. That's a Darby reamer or whatever, right? It's got got a paddle and a reamer on it.
Oh, yeah. What's that? That looks like who made that? Is that one of those Nathan Smith ones?
I think it might be made by Blast Shield and a design by Darby.
Yeah. Rad. Yeah, I know. I knew it was a custom request tool.
And so here he's already done a couple of these when we caught back up with him. A couple of these sections and sealed them together. And we're going to get to watch him do a few more as he builds out the bottom of this amphora vase. And this is like a classic historical shape or whatever. Let me go to Google here. Oh, videos.
Grab it.
Oh, I got it.
His hand came up. I was like, man, is he going to grab that?
Yeah, so these are like from Greek times or whatever, and it's a jar with two vertical handles used in antiquity for the storage and transportation of foodstuffs, such as wine and olive oil. So, you see examples.
Hemp oil, man. Cannabis oil. That's what they fucking put in those things, dude.
They probably were. All these cultures back then that's what they were fucking with. That was the best drug they had, I think. They hadn't figured out.
Is it a form of urn? Is it a form of urn? Would it be called that, you think?
No, it looks like it's similar. I mean, it's a vase. Don't get me wrong. It's just a very there's a really specific style.
Brad, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, word. I mean, it's got a whole Wikipedia article, so we could get really deep on this.
Yeah, I mean, like they have like whole studies in like history and shit over this kind of stuff, dude.
Yeah. It turns out people are interested. Yes.
Yeah, it can go real deep. Apparently, who knew?
Yeah. Right. Totally, man.
A bunch of stoners back in Greece just like turning glass and like ceramics, and they're like, man, I hope somebody buys this shit. 5,000 years later, they're like, oh my god, these masters in art.
Yep. Now, apparently, what Wikipedia is telling me is that because they have this long shape or whatever, they stack together well for transportation and storage, which was pretty critical back then. Didn't have like fucking U-line egg crate boxes and all that. And they've totally got a picture where like they're set in some kind of wooden rack so they won't shift around. Just reminds me when I stopped by the Jerome Baker Dream Factory, and they've got like the wooden racks for all the tubes in various stages. So yeah, like I said, you can really start to see that pattern and how it has this look of depth. But it's all
might need to go turn on the kiln. That looks like fun.
What's that?
Might need to go turn on the kiln for once this week.
Oh,
that kind of trickery looks fun.
It is, yeah.
Very sandy look to it, like clay pots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they totally what the homie was going for. And wait till you see the finished piece. It's all sitting on columns and stuff. I don't want to spoil it, but
spoiler alert.
Yeah. But really important here is to note is how he opens these holes. And the neat thing about that Darby reamer is that it gives you this like really defined stopping point. So the hole is always going to be that same size.
Oh, yeah.
That
just
really
make
helps.
it exactly 12 millimeters at the very base of that cone.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it by like sticking a reamer in through all the way, but it's almost like hard to like pull it out without, it's just better if it's got that natural stopping point. So
yeah. that's G'd up.
I think that's a good tool, man.
Great for Encalmos.
Yeah, I mean, half the magic of jacks, right, is that like you can fucking ream and you can do certain moves, and then you can also paddle with the handle really quickly without switching tools. I think that hits a lot of that same note. Here's another really like one of those nice seals where he connects it at the bottom, rolls it up so that they connect. And when the holes are the same size and everything, it's just math, baby. If you get that tack right, roll it up, you're good to go. And then, God forbid, the tack doesn't look right. You've just got a super tiny area to clean up. And there's all different ways to skin this cat. Some guys like to do it much colder so that they can be broken apart if it doesn't look good. There's all different ways to go about this, and some dudes are just fucking raw dogging it, man. Getting them both hot as hell and bam, going in. Keep it 69, keep it unprotected.
Out there raw dogging it,
huh? Yeah.
I'm going to say that next time I'm at like somebody's studio, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, you're really raw dogging that seal, huh? No stability, no bridges, nothing. Right on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like how people stack reversals and all that. It's just much bigger, and the homie's doing it with much more control. Shit is crisp, man. Shit is crisp. I could see that food booth in the back. It's making me hungry. Not that I really ever eat at those booths, It's like the jankest shit in Vegas, but it's just making me hungry. I'm like, I see food.
Would you like a hot dog for $17?
Exactly, dude. Yeah, totally. Do you need a slim can of Budweiser for $12 to go with it?
It's an 8-ounce Budweiser, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. They got that.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's always frustrating when like you don't bring enough beers or whatever, and then you have to like hunt down the one booth that has a decent beer. Yeah.
At that point, it's just like, what? I'm frustrated. Just give me fucking Bud Light for $16. Whatever.
No, I can't make that move, man. But
you're a man of principle, Mike. I get it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Gotta take a stand.
I wonder how the fruit beers are in the desert.
And you know, I can't really say I've ever seen like a tall boy of super fruited ass beer, but Vegas is like everybody in Vegas is out of work, you know. There are probably like 16 new fruited beer breweries in the works as we speak.
They're like really cashing in those food stamps, buying all the like fruit produce they can, and just like brewing it down into beer and just making million,
That's
making making like dozens of dollars.
Yeah, that's how they got the 1,000 pounds of raspberry and strawberry puree.
What do you mean? There's no apples or blueberries here?
Yeah.
Well, this guy came in and bought it all. $600 worth of food stamps. It was fucking wild.
Right. I think that's my dream at this point.
Oh, okay. So I'm watching the YouTube in the chat. So
Okay, are you a little behind?
yeah, I got a little lag.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Nah, man. The homie at this point, I mean, it's. What do you guys want me to do? Sit here and jot? And it's now expanding a little more. Now it's look. You guys can just watch and absorb. But look at that. That thing went from that connection where they it looked like the thing had a freaking lump or whatever, and now it's all come together. Happy homies. He added this, a section in between and just repeats this process over and over and stacks this thing out to get this piece that has all these different sections with this decorative effect. It's awesome. It looks really cool. This same, the stacking technique applies to anything you want to do. This could just be rainbow colors, whatever you want. He's showing a really, really crisp methodology for, making a stacked piece like this. So it's a pleasure to watch. Reminds me of Eric Goldschmidt blowing out a piece like that, and somebody put in the fucking like the Careless Whisper saxophone solo or whatever.
here's a little Kenny G for y'all.
Yeah. Pretty much think of that anytime somebody does like the hand to mouth blow that way or whatever.
I would have gone to the Elmarver over here already. He just wants it to get bigger.
Yeah. It's like that old sticker, man. You can't marver all your problems away. And the less you marver, the better, in my opinion, man.
Like bigger on it. That's why. God,
like if he needed to, I'm sure he would. And when he needs to,
it would just fuck it all up. Honestly,
it might. When the time is right, I'm sure he'll go to the marver. But right now, I think it's more important that he condenses this all back into this clean, consistent glass that's going to blow out to the shape that he wants. And at that point, I think it's much safer to marver. There still might be like different chords of thickness in here, in the different bands of glass. So it's like the more time you can take to do this, and just resist marvering as much as you can in general. Like there's times when obviously that's the way to do the damn thing, but resist. That's my advice. I mean, things blowing out evenly are just, it's all math. I mean, are the walls even? Have you put even heat into it? Then that motherfucker's going to blow out evenly, assuming you keep it rotating evenly while you do it.
Shit's magic.
Name like 80 other factors or whatever, but it's really, and if that's not happening and you have to marver, what's happening is that you're pushing the unevenness from the outer wall to the inner wall.
And then cooling it off at the same time, too.
Sure. Yeah, that adds a bit of a stress factor or whatever. But the thing to keep in mind... Right. It's just, if you do that and then have to do some shaping on it later, you're setting yourself up for problems. You know what I mean? Like, if you're to the point where you're never going to have to touch that can again, and it's like just looking a little wonky, and you got to take it to the L Marver to give it that really crisp cone, fucking do it. It's just when you have to shape on it later is when that really becomes a factor. So you have to be careful with when you do that marvering, and yeah, like you said, it can cool it down, and you'll see it sometimes. The surface will stress. It's like a mildly negative, mildly destructive thing. So the less you can marver, the better, as far as I'm concerned, at least. And here he is, just tugging away that glass, getting another hole opened.
Well, yeah, it's just something I do when I stack, but like the more I see other people doing it, like at home, it's just a bad habit. I hit the marver after every section almost. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is probably why it sucks now.
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes
This is
you
why
do
you were
gotta.
trash.
Yep. And then also that reamer that hits that paddle at the end when he's using it for those seals, it's making sure that the edge is flush as well. It's really setting him up for success. Here we skip ahead a bit again. He's sealed on to smaller sections to form like the neck of the vase or whatever. Here he's cooking in one of these sections. Now here's a time, as much as we just talked about not using the marver, he does use the marver a bit because he really wants like a clean line there. And I mean, once the seals are done, it's like the bottom clearly needs more work. He doesn't want to fuck around too much there yet. But this neck, once that shape is set, it's not like he's going to be shaping on it beyond that. So here's an example of when it's a good time to marver. The seal has been done. Everything is good with the seal. Now it's just a matter of making sure it has a really crisp line from section to section to section. Yeah, so a good example of when you should marver. Because that sort of crisp line at the end, especially across multiple sections, is very hard to achieve in the flame, and by pulling and pushing and all that. There are damn well times the marver is fucking awesome. So yeah, for those crisp lines, and from here, it's like just think about like a lunar landing. Look at this. Ooh, see that? He didn't just go over there like whoop. He really carefully dropped it onto that and kept it rotating as he did so that you're not forming any flat spots and all that. Always good to see Hugh Salkind in the back. God, I miss all these people. Man, the champs, the whole competition crew, the guys that run this thing and help. It really is like a bit of a family, and man, and not that I ever took it for granted. I really gave my all to what we were doing here. But man, oh man, having, you just miss these cats, and damn.
Show fam.
Sometimes, it makes you, distance or whatever, time makes you appreciate it even more, So yeah, God, I can't wait until we're all fucking, till there's a ton of my homies melting glass behind these benches, and me and some homies are filming it.
Yo, it's gonna be the endless summer. That's my theory. When all this plague shit just kind of they're like, all right, cool, we're done politicizing this, whatever, and everybody goes back to work, and people are safe again. There's gonna be people are just gonna stack festivals where it's all right, this week it's this, next week it's that, and it's gonna be endless for 2 years, solid.
Dude, some very serious economic, fucking resources or whatever you want to call it, man. I'm drawing a blank on who, but some of these very serious companies are projecting 4 to 6% growth in the economy by the end of the year. They are basically predicting a huge boom as soon as all this bullshit is over. Serious, man. I know it's easy to be well, of course we're gonna have 10 festivals, but dude, the money talkers, man, those motherfuckers are saying that they sincerely expect the economy to fucking blow the fuck up.
Well, yeah, when people can travel again and buy gasoline again and actually use it to drive cross country and shit,
Sure. And apparently, all the cats who are well off and didn't lose their jobs just stacked all that fucking stimulus money. So there's this huge reservoir of money that people have just been sketched on spending that as soon as all this bullshit ends, it's going to flood back. I'm not an economist or whatever the fuck, but all these articles are very encouraging.
Numbers, but
yeah, all I'm hearing is Billy Strings many times. Let me at it. We're all ready for it to begin again. But anyways, I just thought it's interesting to kind of introduce that perspective that it's like when the economists and the wooks all agree, it's happening. Okay?
Well, you know, like all these wooks got Binance and fucking all these like Robinhood apps now. Like it's like Wook Street, and now it's not even Wall Street.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting development there as well, man. There's a whole bunch of, I know, like some glass blowers are barely even touching the torch now.
Right? Like it's like it's better to just watch and learn the stock market.
Could be.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. If only this were like stock talk.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second, what show are we on? You know, I'm on so many.
Yeah, right. Now look at this piece. Now the more final shaping is really starting to become apparent and is taking on that super classic shape. Like I said, this is a shape that is designed to stack together for storage and transport. It's crazy. They'll find shit like this. They'll find like shipwrecks, you know, with like a ton of these containers all just still chilling, full of whatever they had. I mean, sometimes, you know, fish get into it, but other times, them shits just hold tight. I'm like, yeah, we got like 2,000-year-old wine.
Oh, that's how you're supposed to use a reamer. Okay. I like watching these guys work because it's like, oh, that's how you're supposed to use this tool.
Right. Now, here's the handles that are classic to this style as well, you know, so you can carry your food or when they, you know, top you up with hash oil or whatever it is.
So that's some serendipity action going on there.
It looks that way, or something similar to match those caramel sections looking.
Striker over white, yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you'll notice, we can see a lot that we missed just by studying what's happening here, because there's one connection made to the vase at the body. The other connection is not made, and I believe that is so. When he does that, it's like he'll have much more control with making that connection fluid. And I think that's the trickier seal, because he wants it to, you know, to have that nice organic curve, and he needs them to match and all that. So I think that was the way to accomplish that and have that section bridged. He's just got a lot of support, make sure everything is really proper. This is a piece that went in the top. This was like a 20th anniversary Glass Games, as I recall. So it's like it has the number 20 in it.
Nice.
It's not his age. I know he looks young, but not his plan. And here he added all these dots, and then he cooked a bunch in, and then he analyzed which ones needed more glass and added it, and now he's just going to cook that in so that it has, you know, the amount that he wants. Yeah, it's another look at the image on there is really cool. All right, so here the bottom's been flattened. It has the totally classic shape now. It's got the handles. You can kind of see about the striking pattern, like where he reheated them to make sure that the curvature matched and stuff. Sounds like we're joking about historians and all that, but like we're doing exactly the same thing, you know, by like studying all the context clues of the glass and being like, all right, so this was done at this step and all this, just to kind of fill in what we've missed or whatever. I'm adding historian to my titles. Yeah, so he's getting rid of the clear glass now, though, that was on the mouthpiece, or like that the handle that was attached to the mouthpiece. And he's just accomplishing this by getting it all pretty hot, doing his best to keep it on just the clear, and just kind of drawing it all away, thinning it out until it's pretty much all gone. And then he's going to give it a flatten. You can see we've added like a down stem and a joint with a similar pattern and the things that happen while you're filming 39 other people. And you can really see that glass is starting to get thin there. And it's open at the joint there, you know, so it's not going to like suck in or anything, so he can really thin that out. And man, oh man, this dude has got some fucking balls of steel using that fucking. I'm not saying that's a bad grabber, but I mean, look at how one side is open way more than the rest and shit. Like, that is like the Mountain Glass standard $35 holder that he is trusting this incredible piece that he spent 3 days on or whatever. I guess this was the 2019 Masters, so it was 2 days of flame working and then 1 day of judging, I think. Whereas by 2020, it was 3 full days of flame working and then the judging on day 4. And yeah, here he is getting that rim hot and giving it a nice flat in there. A ream too. That's also how you use a reamer, Kai. Whatever. There's HicDogg again in the background. His information is in the video description. Also, shout outs to HicDogg. He's got the best carrier for glass. If you travel around to other studios and stuff, it's called the HicDogg saddlebag. And here's the piece, guys, with a really cool stand and some Dotwork implosions kind of melting around it.
You were talking about. Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's like this time theme that had this like Dali-esque thing going on, so everybody was trying to hit that note. I thought this was really cool.
No. Oh, that's classic, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's sick, right?
Yeah.
Steve H, man. So it's like he's known for these incredible dot patterns and stuff, but I thought this was so cool to share because
that like, how do you do that? Come on.
Yeah, man.
That's wicked cool. What is that like?
Who did the clocks? Was that MC Escher who did the clocks like hanging off the side?
Was that Dolly?
Yeah, that's
Dolly. It was Dolly. Okay, but yeah, that's sick.
Hell yeah, yeah. So guys, huge shout outs to Steve H, to Champs, making it possible for me to capture and share this. And these sponsors, again, you guys, we just take a minute at the beginning and the end of these shows to shout them out because, you know, when things pick back up, you know, it's just not going to stop. And they help, you know, hotels, flights, you know, all this type of stuff. And I do my best, you know, as this thing is matured, I do my best to help, you know, cover expenses for the camera people or get them a room. I'm doing the best that I can, and these cats are helping make it possible. You know, it's not a big money business. There's really nothing left at the end of the day. But yeah, they've made it possible to get to all of these shows for years now and kind of give our industry this like ESPN type of coverage and make it possible for us to keep having this cool party every week. You know, maybe there's another universe where none of this shit happened and we just kept getting drunk on webcams, you know, doing fun little demos. Whatever is clever. But right now I've got kind of a deeper mission that we're getting to do. And, you know, it's because all y'all are here together making this possible. So thank you to those sponsors. Thank you to you guys for being here, justifying their involvement in the community and everything. And again, to Steve H, man, I can't say thank you enough. My dogs, how many people what we got right here? What's going on here?
I saw 130 at one point. Where are we at? Okay. 115?
Okay, we'll go ahead and throw in numbers 1 through 150. If you tuned in during the show, you know, I'm repping the fresh joint right off the Grove, or whatever, from my dog Dustin over at OG. I just bought this shit, man. It happened to be his birthday, so I was like, mate, throw my man an order. And then he returned the kindness by throwing in some masks. And I'm keeping this one. This is the salt mask, you guys. What?
It makes you look like
repping for my boy. But yo, I've got to give away tonight. We got a Slugworth mask. Slug diddlyumptious, y'all.
That's so fancy.
They're really fucking cool. They've got like I don't want to take it out, but they've got like this little thing here that's got like a hole. I don't know if it's for a blow tube. We would have to ask Dustin exactly what the hole is for, but
yeah, I think it's a blow hose. I think
it might be, yeah.
He bought like 50 masks for me to do that.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, and then we've got the Shaggy, our fucking boy. Another one of these homies who we've. What's that?
Glad someone ripped that idea off. Did something.
Man. So anyways, these are really sweet ass things. I'll throw in some sticker packs as well. Yeah, I'm finally back to work now, so I'll probably throw in some like little bits of Icane or something. Okay, Daniel says the hole is for a joint. That makes sense too. Man. I'm fucking think being all one dimensional and shit. Yeah. I'm gonna leave you guys with Kai for a second. He can talk to you about anything that he wants, like hot wings. He just did all 10. I'm just playing. But I'm gonna go grab a beer. But I'll be right back. Leave you with the homie.
Oh, this is my hot wing face. What's up, guys? What you guys all getting numbers down here in there? Carrie, you keeping an eye on all these numbers? Just click yes if you hear me. Giving away some cool stuff. I'm not going to give away anything tonight because I'm stingy. And well, I mean, I got a whole rack of shirts behind me, but that's all fucking orders. So yeah, let's see here. What's going on in the chat? You guys are all just trying to get free shit. Cool. All right. Any more numbers coming through? Greetings from Argentina, huh? Damn. What's up, Martin? Glass blowing is worldwide. That's really cool. Carrie, I'm not watching all these numbers. Mike's gonna have to come back and do some work.
Yeah, I'm here.
I did make all these shirts. I'm a glass blower first. I started about 6 years ago, but just last 3 years I gotten into tie dye. There's a mushroom, for those of you guys that like drugs, nice and representative of that. Yeah, I do all kinds of cool stuff. Like go check out my group on Facebook. It's Kai Dyes, and I'm on Instagram as that as well. If you're in the tie dye community or interested in tie dye, you'll see my work here and there. It's kind of fun. Here and there, I'll do some fun stuff.
Your Instagram is listed in the video description, so if they look down there, they'll see you, man. Hell yeah! All right, so it looks like those numbers are coming. Guys, I'm doing my best to watch, but if anybody sneaks in like more than one number, let me know. Counting on you guys to kind of be the police.
I'm not sponsored by Coors.
Yeah. Speaking of beers, man, I've got my beer number 2. This is not a Colorado beer, but this is by Prairie.
Fancy. What the hell does guava funk taste like?
It's funky, man. I mean, it's a sour. It's a sour ale with pink guava. What's that?
Nothing. Just shouting out to Eric Anders saying thanks, mad props, man. I love your work too, bro.
Oh, dude, Eric's with us tonight, dude. Eric, you're the man. I really appreciate you, brother. I remember you being really kind to me mad years ago. I'm still a nobody, but back then, man, you treated me with nothing but kindness or whatever. I remember, whatever, man. But yeah, it was nice crossing paths back in the day. I remember you were a nice ass dude. Fuck yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, check this out. This is a fun fucking beer. Yeah, it's like.
Is it pink beer too, or is it just the light?
It's not exactly pink, but it's not. It's more on like the yellow note. Yeah, it's not as fun as that other one.
Should do fruit beer talk.
We should, man. We should. Like the ones I'm drinking are like they're dessert sours, but they're not like the ones that are like smoothies and shit. A bunch of I like those too, but I them shits ain't on my budget, dogs, or whatever right now. But it's always a pleasure when I can link up with homies who get that shit, or when I can swing it. I have found places though, like I said, like that have the Weldwork stuff, like this for example. Like they're not like packed with unpasteurized. That's the difference. Unpasteurized fruits are what makes the heady beers super heady. It's like they might explode. It's dangerous. But yeah, no, I'm not even the dude to have that show, man. The fucking homie like Pedro, man. I should have a show where like I bring those cats on and be like, what do y'all do?
You should just have a show where you bring Pedro on.
We should, man. He's an awesome ass dude, and he's a trip.
I'll come visit again. We'll go do scooters again.
Mm-hmm.
Scooters with Pedro.
I really appreciate him. We've got some dank footage of him from Champs, man. Maybe I could even pull some up. Where is it at? Let's see while the our numbers, are we ready for some picks actually? Okay, some of y'all are asking about the New Year's prizes. No, some of them went out, but most of them haven't. I just got to be real. Like I got to get my store things stocked up before I jump on those. It's gonna take like probably a couple of days to get all those out, to be honest. And like I wish I could have done it sooner. I hope to. I'm just a little bit behind, frankly. I've got one of these iCane pulls down. I've got to do 2 or 3 more in the next week or so, and then I'll get back to those prizes, and we'll get them all out with.
Mike, get that out. Come on, man.
And it'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah. Let's. Where was the? Let's see. All right, well, I'm not finding it fast enough. Let's just do the giveaways. That's probably what everybody would really like. Let me pull up random.org.
Free stuff, Mike. Come on.
Drax in the chat says, yo, do you have any tips for someone trying to get into lamp working? I found a class, but how can I get more torch time without a home setup?
We have no tips. We have no clue what it takes.
Yeah, no advice.
Not an idea.
Yo, the thing you might want to do, it's not like the coolest option, but no shame in this game, man. Get like a hot head or a dab torch and get some soft glass rods and just play around with glass. You know, it's not going to be the same as Boro, but you can practice sculpting. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Okay, here's a tip. Here's a different tip. You wait for your tax return, get about $2,000, buy yourself a Carlisle for about $1,000, get into a nice studio nearby, go take some lessons, learn how to hook up your torch properly, safely, get into the forums, look through Torch Talk, look through some other groups on Facebook, talk to some other artists, kind of get a grasp for what's going on, because you're working with, fire. Shit can burn the hell out of you, so you got to understand what you're going to do, what can happen, and then you throw down the money, put together like $2,000. Message me, I'll tell you what to get. All kinds of cool shit, dude. It's easy, but you got to get started right. Don't do a dab torch.
Well.
Mike, you're just fishing for memes, man. You're just like,
no. I want to show y'all something real quick with the homie Mauro Vianello. The fucking maestro is a master of sea life and glass sculpture. I want y'all to watch this for a second. I'm gonna assume the homie won't mind. He's here at a fucking restaurant doing a demo. And he's got. Let's just skip ahead a bit. Here he is, yo, working glass, sculpting on the dab torch, man.
On that note, I'm grabbing more Q-tips. This is wow. That's amazing. Man.
So, I know Kai is like, dude, just buy a fucking Kai Dye's torch shirt and get the real torch, but I really think there's no shame in this game of getting a dabbed style, like a hot head torch and some cheap soft glass rods, if you don't have any other option. You know what I mean? Like if you really are, if you just don't see it possible to put together enough money, to get a real torch and work with Boro right now, I do think that this is a very fun way to start working with glass and kind of get a feel for how it works.
Give me 5 minutes. I'm coming up with an affiliate link for Devardi Glass on Amazon. And
that bundle,
I'm going to write an artitle and just blast it in TikTok.
£5 for $13 or whatever. But no, I mean, that Devardi stuff kind of sucks. But I mean, I'm not versed in the soft glass.
It melts. It explodes just like soft glass does.
Sure. But I mean, watch the homie doing his thing. I mean, it's
this guy knows exactly. Man, this guy's a beast, though.
Yeah.
Can we see some other stuff that he does, like
in general? Sure, of course. Let me.
I mean, if nobody minds, like, is anybody like in a rush to like get off of here?
Yeah, they're all like, "Pick the damn number, Mike. We don't want to watch this."
The fucking number. Mike, did you catch all those numbers?
Yeah. Okay, it's like Maro _ Vianello _ Lampworker. Or I'll pop this up. He is like
he does this with a dab torch, guys.
No. He uses Mark Arnold for this stuff on an HVO.
It makes me go, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, look at these. This is like a cuttlefish.
Yeah, he's only been on the torch for like 2.5 years now, guys.
There's a demo on the Torch Talk channel of him doing a cuttlefish. Actually, he really is. Oh man, talk about making me hungry. Oh my gosh.
He's got glass food. God.
I'm
or
not
is that
certain
just
that
real
was glass.
food? It's just like real Italian food.
Look at that, yo! The man's work is like, I'm not kidding. He's
you got a picture of a real slug on a piece of glass. That's fucking brilliant.
What's that?
No, I'm just joking. That slug, that's brilliant. Oh, look at him! Look at him making that Bitcoin.
I knew that's what you were talking about. I know. Oh, the guy's definitely going for the Bitcoin.
Yeah, man, that guy's gonna make $1 million off that. He's gonna be like, "Fuck! I just made so much money off this one Bitcoin glass."
That's too cool.
Portuguese men of war. That shit's nuts.
That's dope as hell. And if you guys ever have the opportunity to go to Venice, you have the opportunity to. There is repping for the homies, the high volume homies. Hell yeah. But his work is simply through the roof. But again, here he is. Look, that's what he just made. That little crane or whatever.
Okay, guys. So for $25, I can start you out with glass blowing. Just follow me. Go to my channel at dabglass.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Maro's going to be like, Mike, you owe me royalties now, or something. But yeah,
you just started a whole new fucking class of memes.
Right. But yeah, for real, we'll just watch a little more. I think this is a totally valid way to start if you're truly on the broker side of life and you want to mess with glass. I like I said, no shame in this game. Obviously the best thing is to get into some kind of borrow class and really get into some fundamentals or whatever. But man, a hot head torch.
But well, we can't stress this enough. Like, y'all, like, safety, like, definitely get into there's forums, there's books, there's all kinds of stuff that explains explicitly what you're working with. Like, you cannot leave a propane tank on all night. You can't do that and leave it open for a week at a time, because eventually one of your lines is going to blow and then it's going to fill up your garage or your basement, and then your whole fucking house is going to explode. You might kill your neighbor. There are some safety things that really need to be heeded, and that's a lot of things that we like to point out. You've seen the group, you've seen the ventilation jokes. It's no joke. Like, this shit can kill you. So it's not something you want to just rush into. Definitely look into what you're getting into. I burned the fuck out of myself a few times because I was stoned.
It happens, man. It's no joke. All right, guys. I know that y'all are probably ready for me to pick some numbers, but I really couldn't resist sharing a little bit of that video, man. Maro is an adorable and amazing human being.
You proved me wrong on that so hard. That was fucking great.
Yeah. Like, not so fast, guy. That's what
like, oh, got me.
All right, here we go. Let's
random.org.
Yeah, what did I say? 1 through 150?
Yeah. There's
right,
like 100.
Clickety clack, and I'm even making him wait. I'm unprotected. All right.
Raw dog that number.
That's right. All right, I'm not seeing a 144. Probably bullshitted so long we lost half the chat. No, I don't see it though. All right, here we go. I'm clicking again. Clickety clack. 112. Oh, I see it. Organ. What? I don't know what the organ grinder. Word. Okay. All right. Organ grinder.
Oh man, that shit brings up a funny little anecdote. So,
okay. All right.
Anybody familiar with stonks? Find this guy. What is it? Can you say that again, Mike? Just say it one more time. Organ grinder.
Organ grinder, I think. Yeah.
Organ grinder. Please claim this. Get a hold of Mike.
Yeah, now, I think we mentioned the Slugworth mask first. So, Organ Grinder, you won this pimp-ass official genius X Slugworth Glass OG mask, yo. Not a medical device.
In style.
Anything with a disclaimer like that makes me laugh. Like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm trusting my life to this. The fuck you mean it's not a medical device? I want the mask that says I'm a medical device. The hell?
This is just for looks. Will not save you from the corona. All right.
All right. And then let's give away this pimp ass shaggy one, yo.
The shags.
Also not a medical device. Don't fuck around. Don't be doing surgery in that or anything, okay? Trusting y'all not to do that. All right, here we go. Let's pick another winner. And Organ Grinder or whatever, dude, hit me up, by the way, prizecentralstation@gmail.com, and remind me that you won the Slugworth mask on the 23rd.
Screenshot.
Bam. Now we don't need screenshots. Just tell me you're that dude or whatever, and we'll figure it out. Yeah. All right. Anyways, okay, here we go. Let's pick that next winner. Click to the clock. 100. That should be a... feel like somebody must have picked that, right? I see 100.
Who got there first?
No, it looks like somebody just said 100%. Okay. Kyler McGee. That's you, dog. Like I said, man, hit me up at prizecentralstation@gmail.com and tell me that you won the Shaggy mask with the fucking hole for the joint or a blow tube. Whatever. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll throw in some stickers and shit too. So, all right. With that said and done, I think that kind of wraps things up. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I really appreciate you guys out there. Man, really, like I said, this is the most positive, fun thing in my life. I'm ready to let all the other just guys, I'm just doing the YouTube channel now. We're close. But anyways, thank you guys so much for making this like a kind community and a fun thing to do every week or close to. I'm trying to get back to a more regular schedule now that this move is accomplished and everything. Let me send you all off to my dog, Kai. Thank you for joining me and helping me co-host this thing, man, and adding some insight as a glass worker as well, man. I really appreciate you. You're like full steam ahead on these dyes now, but I swear it melts glass too, guys.
Whoops.
Do we hit you at the wrong time?
Thank you guys for joining us as always. If you want to check out my glass, it's Shammer Glass on Instagram.
Yep.
I upload some stuff here and there.
Yeah, same here.
You know,
same here.
I upload glass,
Right.
you know, once a year.
Well, fuck yeah. Well, thank you for joining me, brother.
Y'all have a great night.
Yeah, I cut you off, brother. Sorry.
You're good at that, dude. It's
No,
cool.
go
It's
ahead.
like,
Send him off, player. Send him off.
do you need a funky dance or something? Give me some Mexican music.
If you're offering a funky dance,
No, I'm just fucking with all you guys. I don't move.
Yeah.
I actually
I'm gonna-
feel like
I'm gonna share something with you guys out there that only for the people who stick around to the very end. This is my picture. This is me. This is me in my Slim Shady phase.
shut the fuck
Bleached
up.
hair, and I'm smoking a blunt on Bourbon Street in front of a strip club.
Jesus fuck. You're like, oh my god, I saw a stripper
I was cool once.
walking out the door to her.
Anyways, I'm gonna send you off to Kai for that dance. Good night, everybody. I love y'all.
No dance. I was just fucking around. But for real, y'all, check out. I got some tie-dye dropping soon on Love on Hate and jammingon.com.
Fuck yeah.
So,
all right, y'all.
shit coming.
Peace.